Hey everybody, welcome into the podcast today. And if you want to be an anime addict and support the show, you can head over to AAApodcast.com/join. You can also head over to patreon.com/AAApodcast if you wish. Help out the show. You can support the show with a couple dollars, and we'll give you a whole bunch of extra exclusive podcast episodes. We actually do 8 per month just for you. We do our hentai episodes, our hobby addicts, and our after parties. And the hobby addicts today, we talked about the movie The Menu and a little bit about the Last of Us TV show. And Caroline had another New York City adventure. It's a very eventful in the time and life and times of Caroline. And you can hear all about it over at AAApodcast.com/join. And now, time to start the podcast.
Get ready! You're about to listen to the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast. Make your anime addiction worse at AAApodcast.com. And now, here are your anime addicts.
Happy birthday! It's no one's here. It's birthday, but I'm sure someone listening has their birthday today.
Yes.
That just blew their mind.
That's so nice of you, Mason.
You're welcome.
To the
You're welcome.
person whose birthday it is. Happy birthday!
Yeah, congrats to you and welcome. I have a gift for you. It is another episode of the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast, the only podcast out there to make your anime addiction worse. The real gift that keeps on giving. Welcome to our little podcast spy family we got going on. We have the adorable wild child who likely can read minds. Still up for debate. We'll find out later. It's Caroline. How's it going?
I mean, what a description from me. That I have to say that's pretty exciting. I could be a psychic. So yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Had a very jam-packed weekend filled with fun, and now I am here to wind down, talk about anime, and maybe bust Mitsugi's balls a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know how I love it. Please use a steel-toed boot. So we talked about...
Speaking of which...
That's
Stomp my nuts!
I set myself up for that. Yeah.
Pancake just said she'll stomp my nuts. So we talked about the paint and sip in the hobby addicts, and Pancake was just...
I didn't show everyone.
Yeah, so I've got Pancake's painting right here. They're very different.
Yes, I
just scoot it back a bit.
And sipped this yesterday. It's a little mushroom house. Very cute.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Very adorable.
Yes, and here's our dog.
Thank you.
Here's the dog. The doggo. Yes.
Oh my gosh, how cute.
Katie looks amazing.
This is
bandana.
This is what you get if you watch on Twitch, but honestly, I'm going to do mine tomorrow, and it's going to be a fucking disaster. So I'm glad we got one good painting. And we'll have Pancake do the cat as well, because I will not be able to paint the cat. So, guys, I'm excited to be on the podcast today. We're going to do a lot of fun stuff for you. And, just sit back and enjoy, a podcast made just for you. I'm happy to be here. Got my water. Feeling good. Welcome to the show.
I have my iced tea. I am a hydrophony today.
It's close enough. Yeah. As Mitz mentioned, we are live every Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern on Twitch. We also post to YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, all that good stuff. But really, you want to be following the Discord at AAAdiscord.com, or just go to our website at AAApodcast.com, where you also can find links to our merchandise store, our Amazon affiliates, just everything out there you can find. It's at your fingertips. I believe in you. And maybe if it's your birthday, you want some podcast merch, you can do that at AAAshop.info. Or maybe you need to buy gifts for someone, and you can do the exact same link to find the exact same gift. So all that housekeeping out of the way.
It must be my birthday.
I think this episode is going to be fun today. We have another episode of Does Mitsugi's Mom Know? So that's a classic game that everyone gets excited for. We also have a game as our main topic, this or that. It's kind of like Would You Rather, but a little spicier, hopefully. And a review, as you might have guessed by the intro, of Spy Family Cour 2. So this is the second part of the first season. And I think it will be contentious in some ways.
Yeah,
So,
I think so as well. But also, I had like a random idea for a TikTok about Spy X Family and literally had 15 minutes to do it. So I just quickly put it together and I put it out. It is gaining some traction all of a sudden. So that's pretty exciting. If you want to check that out, you can go to our TikTok. I believe it's the_anime_addicts. And we posted it into our Discord as well. So.
Does it involve you
out.
giving me an uppercut?
No, it just involves me realizing that Yor is a pretty insane character by the fact that she kills people in her free time, and yet she's the ditziest person in the entire show. So
yeah,
she's secretly a psychopath, and I just want her to show that. Because we barely get to see it anyway.
Man, we are not going to agree later on. Stay tuned, people, because I think Yor is a terrible character.
Okay, well, we are just teasing the spice. We'll get to that later. And yeah, shall we get into our news?
I think so.
Oh, 大ニュースです. It's time for big news of the week.
All right. Crunchyroll put out their nominees for their 7th annual anime awards, which is so cute because we're like on our 12th one. So someday they'll catch up. Probably not. That's math. Anyway, I'm gonna. That is math. I mean, 7 minus 2. Listen, I can even do that. Shit.
We have the power of the Pope and math on our side. No one can catch us now.
We don't even need an engineer like Mason to do math. I can do 12 minus 7. Like
we're smarter than
5
Anya.
or 6 or something. Anyway,
yeah, at least.
So here are the nominees for Anime of the Year, and we can make our predictions. I just want to know what you guys think about this list of nominees for Best Anime of the Year from the much heralded Crunchyroll, and you guys give your thoughts. Attack on Titan Final Season Part 2, Cyberpunk Edge Runner, Demon Slayer, Entertainment District Arc, Licorice Recoil, Ranking of Kings, and Spy Family. What do you guys think? Anything missing? Anything that doesn't deserve to be there?
I mean,
I can't think of anything off the top. What about Chainsaw Man?
Chainsaw Man was not nominated.
That's kind of surprising.
Agree.
I mean, not that I think it is Anime of the Year, but I think it's surprising it's not on there.
I think they said no fall 2022 shows on their list at all.
Oh, I didn't read the.
Which is also why Bocchi isn't on there.
Why is fall? What the hell?
I have not been following these awards. I frankly do not care all that much. But I think, from what I've heard, is that maybe it's recency bias or hoping that it wouldn't, like, maybe the shows wouldn't finish in 2022. But clearly the show's finished. Who cares about recency bias? That means if you care about Bocchi, you're not going to be able to vote it until 2024.
That's why they did it?
I don't know.
That is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
What I've seen on the Discord. But if that is really the case,
oh my God.
that is... I mean, I get that you don't want to just do the flavor of the week and have Chainsaw Man win every award. I get that. But also, if that's how your awards are set up, that's how they're set up. So...
Well, this is ridiculous.
No award system is perfect. Objectively, if you have people vote, if you have a select group of judges vote, nobody wins. No one gets exactly what they want. But it's a way to talk about anime, and I like that. That said, that's a very daft decision.
All right. So that means just looking at fall 2022 by highest rated.
Yeah.
That means. What the fuck is this shit?
So I just read the article. The fall 2022 anime season will not be eligible for this year's awards and will instead be a part of the 2024 awards.
Are they trying, similar to what we do, you have to have a completed show by the time the awards come around?
I mean, you might be able to say that, but a lot of these anime had stuff come out
and completed.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they're just... taking into account some shows that might be too core, and they just wanted to make it easier to say, okay, that's the cutoff point.
I'm going to pull up the seasonal anime list here. We're going to see which shows got left out here by not including 2022. In order of score, the Bleach anime, which, has a 9.1, take that for what you will. It doesn't mean a whole lot, but, it is what it is. Bocchi is getting left out. Mob Psycho is getting left out. Chainsaw Man's getting left out. Spy Family gets to stay, even though it's
Because
fall
the
2020.
first court.
Yeah, that does
no,
not-
the,
that doesn't
no,
make
because the
Suck my
first
dick.
part of Spy Family came out.
Yeah, but Suck My Dick, it's still recency bias. It's still getting pumped up by the fact that it just aired. Golden Kamuy, that's
True.
out. Blue Lock.
Well, to be fair, Golden Kamuy didn't finish, so that one makes sense.
Well, fine, but like, I would think Chainsaw Man, Mob Psycho, Bocchi, and Bleach would all be like, in the running to be on the list. I mean, just based on those
Disagree.
4 shows, that's probably like the strongest season of the year.
Yeah, that's what
ridiculous.
we all thought too. So
That is so dumb because all people are going to say now when they finish this is, well, it's invalid because you left out all the fucking good stuff from the damn year. So that's a huge mistake. I didn't know that. What a disaster. Licorice Recoil should not be on this list.
Yeah.
Um,
In terms of what I think should win,
Licorice.
I think Ranking of Kings should win. In terms of what probably will win, it's gonna be either Spy X Family or Attack on Titan.
I'm willing to bet Attack on Titan. It's boring because it wins every other year, but I mean, it's like it is, a huge show and it'll probably win. It might not though. Spy Family, you could be right. I don't think Demon Slayer should be on here. I didn't think that entertainment arc was very good at all.
No, it wasn't really all that interesting compared to the first season, and even so, like a lot of the hype around the first season came from just visuals.
I think you got to take Demon Slayer out, put Bocchi in there. Even though I don't particularly like Bocchi, other people do clearly, so it should be in there. I'd take Licorice Recoil out. I'd put Mob Psycho in there, and I would just add Chainsaw Man to the list and make it 7 anime instead of 6 and call it a day. And that is like, and honestly, Cyberpunk borderline shouldn't be in there either. But that makes this like, that would make it like a ridiculously strong list of anime. I just can't believe they left out the fall. That is unbelievable.
Yeah, fall was probably one of the strongest seasons this year.
Is that so? Did they take it out for all categories?
Yes.
So let me ask you a question then. Let's pretend it's recency bias because I don't know if we confirm that or not, but that smells like the only reasonable way, the only rational reason why they would take out an entire season. Now, when you get to this time next year, 2024, I assume they're going to let fall in. But
Yes.
now no one's going to remember Bocchi even exists a year from now.
Yeah.
So now you're taking recency bias out, but you're chopping the balls off of all the anime that came out in the fall season because it's so long ago and it's not even in the right year. It's just stupid. That's ridiculously stupid. Wow.
Speaking of Attack on Titan,
Well, wait a second. I want to say
news.
say one thing real quick. Our anime Oscars voting will be open soon, so stay tuned for announcements. But we have like a tentative list of nominees and whatnot, and it does include fall 2022.
oh my
Which
goodness,
makes our
I want to
award show
vote
better.
in that. I'm invested.
Listen, I gotta say that makes our award show better than Crunchyroll's. Just gonna say that right now. So there you go.
Well, we
Stay
all
tuned.
knew that.
Yeah, stay tuned for more on that in the next week or so.
Yes. So in my news this week, people might have heard that Attack on Titan, the final season's conclusion, will air in 2 parts, with the first part coming out on March 3rd. Technically, really March 4th in Japan, but March 3rd in the US. So the first part will air, and then the second part will air later on in this year. We don't know when exactly that will be yet. And we actually don't know the specifics of the broadcast because the length of each part has not been confirmed yet either. And they're listing March 4th as a special broadcast, which hints that each part might be an anime special instead of multiple episodes. It could be like a really long episode. And so in honor of the naming scheme just getting as ridiculous as Attack on Titan, the final season, part 3, part 1, and
No,
part 2.
it's turning into like a library cat. It's like,
Yeah. I thought of some other season names that are just as,
I love
if
this.
not more, sensical.
I love it.
So we got Attack on Titan, the 7th season, which takes into account all the split cores and the fact that they decided not to name the final season as season 4. It's the 7th season now. Or we can call it Attack on Titan, episode 88, if it is just going to be a single episode on March 4th. Attack on Titan, the 4th season, Part 3.1 and Part 3.2, and Attack on Titan, the final season. Just kidding. No, for real this time. Actually, no. Okay, now we swear this is it. Part 1. And then Part 2.
Fantastic. It's like Final Fantasy, 16. When will it be final? It never.
Yeah.
Never. Spoiler alert.
And I think I heard people say, well, when it was taken over by the new studio, it had to be called this, and they couldn't change it, and then they did not anticipate needing to split it again, but they had to, so it's turned into this, which I can kind of understand, but it's just so funny.
And I just want to thank Caroline for having such a good attitude and tolerating me as a human, and how grumpy and terrible I am, and all the complaining and bitching, and the whining and the musing and the fussing about how Attack on Titan will never quit tormenting us with its endless season extensions. And
yeah, I get it. It is a really strange way that they've decided to do this, and the fact that we have some seasons as 2 core and some seasons are just 1 core, and it just got very confusing. I'm like, what season are we even on at this point? It's hard to tell. So I am well aware of their naming difficulties being a bit annoying. Yeah, so it's still pretty funny.
Well, and also, like, think about it. Like, 5 years from now, people are going to be talking about Attack on Titan. They're going to say, like, man, that season 3 part 1.5, whatever, and if people are going to have, like, trouble communicating about what fucking part of the show they're talking about.
I totally see. Already, it's hard, and I can definitely see it getting more difficult as time goes on. But if you want to tell us all of your names that you would rather call Attack on Titan the final season part 1, oh, sorry, no, Attack on Titan the final season part 3, part 1, and part 2, you can let us know in our Discord and make it a fun game. But that's it for my news.
All right, Mason's up.
Speaking of lots of parts, we have news now on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the Part 9 announcements for the manga. So we are 4 weeks away, as of recording this, from the beginning of the new part of JoJo, which is titled The JoJo Lands. February 17th, the new part will begin, releasing in Shueisha's Ultra Jump, which is a monthly seinen manga magazine, and it follows the conclusion of Part 8, which was back in 2021. So it's been a bit over a year, almost 2 years without any JoJo, and I'm excited for the manga. I love the manga of it. It's so just wild and innovative, and yeah, Part 6 of the anime wasn't quite to my liking, but the manga is just so good. And Part 9 is said to follow a boy in the subtropical islands who goes on to become extremely rich. That's all we know, but I like the idea of JoJo fashion shows on the beach, and it's probably going to be just as absurd as it always is. Araki is a literal vampire. He does not age. I do not know how he does it and continue to pump it out, but I'm excited, and I will probably be talking about it as it comes out and just being that guy. So excited for more JoJo action.
Oh, I have another idea for Attack on Titan name. Attack on Titan, the final season, part 3, Re, because we need to have a Re in every single anime.
In another world.
Yeah, honestly, it could happen with how many anime have Re in it.
I know what's going to happen at the end of Attack on Titan.
Why did you get spoiled? Or
Eren is going to get isekai'd to another world, and then the anime will start. Attack on Titan in another world.
It could
happen. Going to be like Kingdom Hearts, where it's like final chapter prologue, and it was all just the beginning.
357ths
and 1/2, or whatever the fuck their dumbass title.
You know what? I would not be surprised if the final battle took place in that spectral plane that like the Attack on Titan, like their powers come from. It could happen on the spectral plane, technically isekai'd.
Before we get into the main topic, I just want to make a note that people are just absolutely shredding what little credibility the Crunchyroll Awards had. It's just like there's a bunch of threads about it, and it's just like a disaster. I can't believe they would destroy their like their branding like that on an award show that they spend money on. But I can guarantee you they will backpedal next year. Guaranteed.
Well, you heard it here first. We are better than Trash Taste, and we are better than the Crunchyroll Awards.
Something like that.
I didn't say anything about Trash Taste,
I know.
Yeah.
But you didn't have to.
Are we ready for our game show?
Let's do it.
I am so ready.
So
what is this game show?
Game is called This or That, and it's like I said at the top of the show. It's kind of like a Would You Rather, where we will pose questions to each other, and we have to come to a decision. There's been instances in the past on this podcast where we do an either or, and some people try to weasel their way out of it with no, that's not allowed. You have to pick one or the other. Otherwise, I will end you. I will destroy everything you know and love. So,
oh, wow.
I think it will become very apparent on what it is. We have certain questions aimed at certain hosts, but anyone can answer. Anyone can also chip in with their opinions. We'll discuss, we'll debate, and we will see how it goes, because I think we've not seen any of these questions before, and I think we probably had a very different style in forming these questions.
I feel like there will be similarities between them, though.
Maybe, perhaps. We will find out. So,
let's just do as many as we...
General ones just to start, or do we want to start with like aimed at someone in specific?
I think we should start.
I feel like we should go to specifics first.
Okay.
Yeah, and we should just do as many as we can in about a half an hour.
So let's try to not keep our tangents too long.
All right, let's do it. Who's first?
Should I start?
Sure.
Should we start asking Mitz?
Yes. So I think we can take turns asking Mitz our pointed questions.
Oh,
okay.
Boy.
Do you have one you want to start with, Caroline, or should I start?
You start.
Okay. Mitz, you have to choose this or that. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You have to choose between the new Initial D anime being the best in the series, or you have to have the ability to grow your own pompadour.
Wow. So I basically get to have hair again?
You get to have luxurious
the
hair.
Best hair.
Wow.
Or you can have the best Initial D that has ever come to fruition.
You know, I'm gonna stick with my. I'm gonna be a selfless man. I'm gonna say Pancake loves a bald, beautiful man. Anime before beauty. We got our priorities in life straight. I'll take the new Initial D anime being the best in the series. Deja vu, baby.
Love to hear it.
That's right.
Love to hear it.
MF Ghost.
All right. My question for Mitsugi is, you can have all anime be censorless.
What?
Or all the generic isekai will be wiped off the face of the earth just for you.
Are you talking about hentai being censorless?
Anything. So it would be all the blood, all the gore, all the sex, all the boobs, all the nipples.
I didn't think I would use this drop so quickly. You know, I'm going to have to go with censorless because...
Just 'cause she has big titties.
There you go. We're going censorless because Mosaic is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. And honestly...
Mosaic?
Yeah, Mosaic is when they, like, put the little blocky censor crap... And by the way, like, all this doujin, Japan needs to, like, fix their fucking censor laws. Like, I can have a giant penis, like the size of a fucking trash can, in a manga. But if I put one tiny black line through it, it's fine. They consider that a censor. What? Ridiculous. Give me all the titties. All right.
All right. Mason, you're up.
That's the one you've seen before, Mitz, because it was in the Discord as the example, but would you rather take another season of Hajime no Ippo or another season of 12 Kingdoms? Both big stories with a lot of adapted source material, so there is more to say for both of these.
12 Kingdoms.
What do you take?
12 Kingdoms.
12 Kingdoms?
The reason being that the Hajime no Ippo manga, believe it or not, people probably don't know this, is actually it's actually twice as long as One Piece. So I don't know if people know that, but it's over 2,000 chapters. And 12 Kingdoms has just very supreme source material and needs to have more content because that story wasn't even like half done. And
yeah, I think they left it on a cliffhanger, didn't they, basically?
She's got like 5 more books.
The start of an arc, and they never finished it.
So I'm taking 12 Kingdoms. It needs more adaptation.
I agree. So my question for you is, you can have every anime dubbed in very good quality, or be completely fluent in Japanese?
Me?
Yes.
Oh, that's easy. That's incredibly
Yeah, I
easy.
feel like that was a very easy one.
Yeah, I'll definitely take fluent in Japanese. I mean,
Yeah,
you know what? Fuck
because
it.
then you can enjoy
Fuck it.
anime
I'll take the
without
dubs.
No.
I'll take
Oh
fluent.
yeah,
in
that reminds me. Should we open up about the scoring of the last review?
I don't know what you're talking about.
No,
Yeah,
no, we discussed that we would reveal.
Are you still? Did you lose sleep over this?
No, in fact, I
Okay,
just
good.
remembered because I wasn't sure if you were bullshitting, and then I remembered. Oh yeah, we gotta clear up about the bullshitting last week.
Devil as a part-timer was a solid 4.5, and I'm sticking to it. Okay.
No, because if you look at our spreadsheet of our scores, you gave it a 1, like the rest of us.
I don't know what.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Listen, if I was fluent in Japanese, I would move to Japan, buy one of those houses in the countryside that they're practically giving away for free. Pancake can have like 30 chickens. We'll have like 100 acres. It'll cost like 10 grand, and I'll live happily ever after in Japan. Getting to go to every Persona concert that they put on, and all the Nier Automata concerts, and all this cool shit. But yeah, that's the easiest question of the day right there.
Yeah,
But
looking back at it, I'm like, what was I even thinking with that one? The answer is so obvious.
it's almost impossible to achieve Japanese fluency because unless you live there and study your ass off for like 10 years. All right, what's next?
Next up, you have to choose between watching every show in 480p quality or watching every show on High Dive.
I'm
That's
taking
a great
High Dive because that means
What's the difference? It's all bad quality anyway.
well, that means all anime are consolidated into one place, which is all I want. I watch them all on High Dive. I just don't want to have to pay an extra $7 a month for like one anime a season. So if I get to watch every anime for $7, fuck, I'm in on that. But yeah, the quality's man. High Dive's app is bad too. It's really bad.
Yeah.
Okay, my question is, you can have the eradication of all moe and be
Oh.
the pope that you are meant to be, but great teacher Onizuka will have never existed.
Oh.
Versus all things stay the same as they are today.
Oh my god.
So are
I
you
get
going to
three
do
options?
your pope duty, or are you going to be selfish and keep GTO?
You know, as great as Onizuka is, we still have Kentaro Oe, who I have another drop somewhere. I had another drop from Kentaro, but I don't know where it is at the moment. I added another one. But I am going to have to say, for the good of the world, for the good of mankind, and for the sanctity and purity of all of humanity, we're gonna have to eradicate moe. Sorry, Onizuka, I do love you.
You are truly a selfless pope.
I do love you, Onizuka, but he would understand. He would understand, just like he took bullets for Urumi Kanzaki or whoever that was. You know, just like he gave everything he had, like the giving tree that he is. Just like when he went into that house with his rippling abs and his cigarette and sledgehammered that wall, he would understand.
Could we get a quick sermon from the pope himself?
I just gave you a sermon, okay?
Oh,
If you want another sermon, you're going to have to pay for it.
You have to go to our website at AAApodcast.com and
That's
submit a Anime Addicts confessional to commit your grievous sins, and then the Pope will ordain you with a blessing.
That's right.
You can get our Pope and Mitsugi Acolyte shirts
Yes,
on
yeah.
our shop.
AAAshop.com.
AAAshop.com.
AAAshop.info.
Oh, info, yes.
You can buy an Acolyte Pope of the Church of Mitsugi t-shirt and join the ranks officially. And that, truly, is a path to salvation.
All right, Mason,
For a price. You're up,
What's your
Mason.
next
What do you got?
I was anticipating the Amen drop.
Oh boy, what's
next
next
one
here?
is you get a full adaptation of Noshka of the Valley of the Wind at the cost of sacrificing Kiki's delivery service.
Whoa, we have similar questions.
Or everything can stay the same.
I would much rather have the adaptation of Nausicaa, the Valley of the Wind. It's not even close.
Fuck Kiki.
Kiki is a great movie. I love Tomba. I love his little flying contraptions, but Kiki, is probably only like in the middle of it's like my 9th or 10th favorite Ghibli movie, and Nausicaa is just too fucking cool. She's way, way too cool. It would be a very foolish move to not taking the Nausicaa, so we're taking that.
Is there any Ghibli films that you don't make that trade for?
Yeah, I
would you hack off Spirited Away? Would you hack off Princess Mononoke?
I wouldn't hack off Totoro. It's too important, you know. I wouldn't hack off Grave of the Fireflies. I think it's a masterpiece. You know, Princess Mononoke is a masterpiece. Spirited Away. I'll give up Spirited Away.
Not a masterpiece.
I'll give up Spirited Away. I mean, it's a great movie.
It's not my favorite, but I think people would be very upset if you did not call that a masterpiece.
I mean, it pretty much is, but I also think that My Neighbor the Yamadas is a masterpiece, and nobody seems to give a fuck. All right.
Jelly bean to my pile here.
Well, you should watch My Neighbor the Yamadas. It's really good, and it's on HBO Max. All right. It's just differently animated, so people don't really tend to watch it because it just doesn't look like you'd expect. What's next?
Oh, okay. My turn. Sorry, there we go. Okay. I need you to pick what is the lesser evil. PDA in anime will be banned.
Oh,
you will not have hand-holding. You will not have kissing. You will not have sex at all. So blue balls forever.
Oh, so painful.
Versus you have to review every SOL anime that gets produced.
Oh,
every
my
slice
God.
of life. So blue balls or slice of life. Pick.
You're so mean to me. This is not fair. This is Ijiwaru.
I know, because I know what makes you tick, Mitsugi. I know what you hate and what you like.
Wow, so I have to there's no PDA at all in anime ever.
No PDA.
Or I have to review every slice of life?
Yes.
I'm going to have to say no PDA because I can't review every slice of life. I will be dead. I will kill myself. I will be dead. And you will be to blame, okay? The blood is on your hands, okay?
I guess I can be a bit evil, I suppose.
All right, this is the last. These have been pretty good. The last one is
one for you, Mitz. It's not quite anime related, but you have to choose. You have to have 3 clones of Mako, so you have to have 4 cats running around, or 1 clone of your dog, so you have 2 dogs running around.
Our cat is demonic. I mean, he's calming down, but just a side story for people listening, right? So that we have a ragdoll cat. He's a little crazy. He's food crazy for a cat that never has wanted for food in his life. This morning I was making bacon and I had like some paper towels down with the bacon, then more paper towels and more bacon, just trying to get the grease up, trying to, keep them aside for breakfast. And I had a box of mac and cheese on top of them. It's a huge box, like a Costco box, like 20 pounds for the mac and cheese. The cat gets on the counter, moves the box enough that he can reach some of the edges of the bacon, and he's just shredding through the paper towels to eat this bacon. I'm taking the fucking dog. Our dog is an angel. She is the best disposition I've ever seen in a dog, and 100% that's a no-brainer.
Perfect. Thank you for surviving.
In fact,
to be fair, I would do the same for bacon.
Bacon is wow. The pathway to Mitsugi's heart. Caroline's up next.
Yay!
Ooh, are you ready?
Questions. Yes.
Okay. I think I've got a good starting one for you, Caroline.
Before
we go through it, name one of your favorite anime openings. It doesn't have to be your absolute favorite. Just name one that pops to your head that you really love.
Just because it's top of mind, the first opening to Spy X Family.
Okay. So this is phrased for your favorite anime opening, but just for its sake, let's say the first opening Spy X Family is deleted forever, and you only have a vague memory, versus the only version that exists is a lo-fi Alvin and the Chipmunks version, and that's the only way you can hear it.
Okay, I mean, I will be okay with one great opening just being deleted from my memory. That will be okay. I do not need the Alvin and the Chipmunks version.
Gotcha. It's not that good, I guess.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Mitz, what you got?
All right. So, Caroline, we all know the tone and tenor of my types of questions.
Oh, God. How rude is this going to get? I have my jelly beans ready.
All right, Caroline. This is my first question for you, okay? You can either date and make love to Dirk Schneider as an adult, but sometimes he ends up as a child again until you kiss him. Or Rudius as a child, but he never grows up. Dark Schneider will treat you like you would expect, like, like a piece of meat, but Rudius will be very nice to you.
I can't date an actual child. Okay, I'll be with an abusive asshole if it means I'm not a pedophile.
Well, that was definitely the high road morally, so I'm so sorry to do this to you. This is just how I am. I can't help it.
Thankfully, these are all not gonna happen, so.
My question next is a little similar to ones that Caroline has sent you, Mitz, but I think we all saw it coming. Would you choose, Caroline, to review the blandest isekai for 24 episodes versus reviewing the nastiest hentai that is 3 episodes?
Pigeon blood.
That's hard.
Ew. Pigeon blood.
What was that?
The Beast. The Beast.
I'll just move on from that. That is hard. I think you know what? I can do. Actually, no.
What's worse, an hour of just
I'm gonna keep it safe. I don't know how nasty and I
bad,
don't know
really bad.
how horrible hentai can get.
Really bad.
So if it's gonna have things,
So innocent.
not just people having sex, if it's gonna be pedophilic, if it's gonna be like torturous and scary and horrible, I think I can do a bland isekai for 24 episodes. I'm gonna do that. Yeah, that's the safe choice.
Your sanity you value more than your time.
Yeah,
that's fair. I guess.
Not to say that a unending horrible bad anime isn't going to play on my sanity just a little bit. I think it's just gonna be a little bit safer than hentai.
That's fair. Follow-up question, a little lighthearted. Would you rather have Pokemon exist in this world, or would you rather have an immersive isekai, like virtual reality game that you could go to if you wanted to? Not like in a trap there kind of way, just what would you prefer?
I think I would do immersive isekai.
Okay.
Because as much as we shit on it, it would be pretty fun.
It would indeed.
All right, Caroline. Here comes your second pitch. Is another Dark Schneider question.
They're all Dark Schneider.
Would you rather spend a day with the main character of Realist Hero while he goes around and observes his boring kingdom, or go on a treasure hunt with Dark Schneider to find his blown-off penis?
Dark Schneider 100%.
Oh,
that would be so much fun.
So much. That was way easier than I thought.
But honestly, he's pretty entertaining. And if his penis has been blown off, then I feel like that's enough. That's enough punishment for things he's done.
I feel like you're coming around on Dark Schneider, and I feel like
no, I'm not saying that he's my favorite character. I'm just saying if one had to be a degenerate, he's not a horrible one. If he's not a horrible one to watch.
There are definitely worse, but
yeah.
All right, that was easier than I thought.
Next up, you get to pick, similar to Mitz, a new season of Ranking of Kings or a new season of Hinamatsuri.
Does it matter that Ranking of Kings is already coming out with another season?
Assume you would not get a second season of the one you don't pick.
Okay. I felt like Ranking of Kings had a very good ending somewhat. Like if there was no second season, I feel like there would be something missing due to the fact that there was hardly any Ranking of Kings in Ranking of Kings. Like that whole plot device, whatever. But I feel like I would be a little bit more excited for another season of Hinamatsuri just because it's such a fun show. So surprisingly, I think I might go for Hinamatsuri.
Ooh, interesting. I like it.
Though it's kind of a coin flip. I think I could go either way.
And the next one is, what would you rather pick? That your coworkers find out that you do an anime podcast, or the students at the school find out you do an anime podcast?
Oh, they would think.
A lot of my coworkers have actually found out I do an anime podcast.
Okay.
So I think I would rather the coworkers.
Gotcha.
But
I didn't know if you were holding that close to the chest, you know?
Well, my boss knows because Mitsugi was one of my references. But yeah, and a lot of my coworkers are similar to me in age and also like anime to a degree. And you know what? I probably wouldn't even mind if the students found out because I feel like that would just make me cool.
Very.
Because it is pretty
So
mainstream
cool.
at the moment.
Anime has
It is true.
it's creeping into mainstream, and I don't think it would matter. No one's gonna judge
Like
you.
I have seen so many students with anime merch just walking around school, and that surprises me.
And
I
93%
have not
of
gone
it's
to
My
the
Hero.
gym once and not seen anime at least once every
Yeah.
time I go there. It's kind of cool. I love it.
All right, Caroline. Would you rather watch all 13 episodes censored of the newest quote-unquote hentai anime that comes out? So in
Would
other
this
words,
be like Harem in the Labyrinth thing?
yeah, or Peter Grill or one of these,
Mm.
or one episode with full nudity and sexual content?
Creamy mommy? I think I could do one episode of full nudity and sexual content. I think I would rather watch one episode than 13 episodes of a really not great anime.
Wow. Well, my questions were too easy.
Eh.
Okay. I feel like that was the right choice.
But also, I feel like we have to go through these at a certain pace, so I'm not going to spend too much time thinking about it. I'm just going to go with what's instinctual.
All right. Mason's turn. And I am going to go
exciting.
second because Caroline has 4 questions and I have 3.
Okay. So you were actually a little bit harder because I don't know. I think because I know what Mitsugi hates and likes pretty well because he's very vocal about it. It was easier for me to think of some good questions. For you, on the other hand, I had to use my noggin a little bit more. Okay.
Ooh, gross, disgusting. Thinking
Noggin?
for a podcast, I
Yeah.
want no part of it.
So your first question is: you have to watch all the anime, you can watch all the anime that you want and review it, but only give what is the popular opinion. So it doesn't matter what you really think. All you're going to say is what everyone else is saying. Versus you never talk about an anime to anyone ever again.
Wow.
That's tricky. I
Caroline's
think I
coming
could
in.
get away without talking. I think falling in lockstep would be more suffocating in a way. If I knew I disagreed or had an opinion that I like,
That you couldn't say.
yeah, or I
Actually,
guess
that's
I would
probably
only
the best way,
I would weasel out of it and only review the shows that I have an agreement with the popular opinion on. But I think if it had to be, you have to agree always with the popular opinion. I think I would just not talk about anime. I think that's too boring.
but-
All right. Mason, here we go.
It's a good question though. Thank you.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Would you rather have to re-enter all 1,700 anime, or however many it is, into your Annie list by hand all over again, or give up watching
geez.
anime forever?
Let's see how many are on there right now.
You have to do each of them again
It's
by
17,
hand.
19.
17. I was pretty close. Or give up
Yeah.
anime forever.
And I have to use one of the tracking sites. Like I can't just
You're-
finally be free of the shackles of having a number assigned to what it means to be an anime fan, and I can just be free to watch without the crushing pressure of playing a numbers game and watching number go up. I can actually watch anime and enjoy it for once.
Don't
No.
blame Annie List for all your problems.
Exactly.
You have to either enter all of the anime again one at a time by hand, or you never get to watch anime again.
I mean, if I had a list and just had to reference it, yeah, I would do it all by hand. That would be just one very long day of putting on some good tunes and just putting it all in. But I think if you said, oh, from memory, you have to do all 1,700, I don't think I could get even close to that.
I'm not asking you to do it by memory. I'm just saying you have to
Just
go
saying,
through the
physically,
agonizing effort.
I would do it. I
Wow.
could do
It probably would be a good
That's
way
love right
to
there.
give a more objective score to something, because you would be scoring it based on what you remember it being and not
Yeah,
what you felt in the moment.
agreed.
All right. That was my question.
I would definitely re-enter it, but thank you. That's a good one.
Okay, my next question. You can either get more Tatami Galaxy spin-off series versus get the same amount of Ping Pong spin-off series. Both are of great quality.
Oh, see, I don't want any more of either. I don't.
Really?
They're both just chef's kiss ending, and there is no further step. There is just inherently more to be done with a Tatami Galaxy spin-off, so I would pick that.
I feel like there are more side stories in ping pong that you could do.
Ping pong is such a refined, crystalline experience, and just I get that it will be great quality, and I love those characters, but Tatami just inherently from its setup of it is just a bunch of side stories and wraparound. So I'd pick more Tatami because ping pong is too perfect as it is.
All right.
Mason's gonna shed a tear
It's
talking about
good.
ping pong. Mason, would you rather have a high quality hockey anime like what
Yes.
you wanted to begin with, or have a sequel to either ping pong or Haikyuu?
That's easy going with the high quality hockey anime. Obviously, I was just talking about how ping pong is good and great, but doesn't need any more. Haikyuu, I mean, will get probably not a great finale, and I think it's been, for me personally, a bit on a downslope. So I'll take, obviously, always high quality anime over anything else, but especially hockey, give me some of that.
Let me rephrase the question a little and see if you change your mind.
Go for it.
You can have a high quality hockey anime, but Haikyuu never gets finished.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, there you go.
Haikyuu's dead to me anyway. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I'm kind of over Haikyuu right now.
All right,
You're over it.
Caroline's up again.
Okay. As you drink your water, I have a very topical question for you. Which is the lesser evil? Becoming allergic to water and having to use medical supplements versus having to drink water for every minute that you are conscious?
How much water are we talking?
So
Every
you would
minute.
just have,
Oh my
you would,
God.
it would mean you would constantly have a water bottle in your hand. You would constantly have to remember, take a sip of water and then repeat it every single minute for the rest of your life unless you are sleeping.
Hmm. It's a measure of extremes. Like, is it medical supplement of like one pill a day and you're good to
I don't
go?
know. I don't know what people who are allergic to water
No
do.
one's
I'm just saying,
allergic to water.
somebody
Such
somewhere
a heinous crime would never
cannot
exist.
consume water. There
Just
has
God
to
would
be
never
something.
allow such sacrilege.
As
Allergic to
Mitsugi
water.
just downs his water in the background.
Oh my
chug,
goodness.
Chug, 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 chug,
It's
chug,
hard
chug.
to say. Like, I'm thinking I would just have those big, like, bear helmets with the jug of water on each side with, like, a camelback sippy cup that I would just be every time I have to
Yeah, one of
say
those beer
anything and
hats.
just do that constantly. Yeah, people would hate me if I did that. I'll take the allergic to water, provided that the medical supplements aren't
I don't know, the iron lung
extreme.
equivalent.
Yeah, I just need to be stuck at home with water suppositories, and I just have to watch anime all day as I manually
Stuffing
input
them up
my
your
entire
booty hole?
any list.
Or
Yeah,
like
exactly.
what if like you have to constantly have an IV to give you your nutrients?
Oof. I mean, that's kind of the same thing right there of drinking water outside of the mouth every
I
minute.
suppose the drinking water is more portable.
Yeah.
Did you know that one of
I
the one of the number one phobias or one of the number one symptoms of rabies in humans, which by the way is pretty much the worst thing you can get, is water phobia. It's almost impossible for a person with rabies to actually drink water. It's really sad.
I remember that from The Office, because they had that one episode where Michael Scott hits Meredith with his car. They find out she has rabies as well when they take her to the hospital, and so they have a 5K trying to raise money for the eradication of rabies, because that was definitely something that was needed. And so Michael Scott refuses to drink water because no, people with rabies have a fear of water, and I'm gonna do this in solidarity with.
Did she die?
yeah.
Because rabies has no cure.
No, she got treatment for it.
Treatment?
I don't know. She
No,
was put in the
I don't
hospital.
think
She
that-
was given treatment.
Yeah, I don't think that exists though.
Do they have rabies shots?
Before you get rabies? Yeah, no, you have to look it up. I think it's incurable. Anyway, Mason, this is kind of a long one, so bear with me here. You can watch anime for a living, but you only make $50K a year for the rest of your life, and it never increases. Or you can do what you went to school for and make a lot more, but you don't get to review anime in any capacity. You can still watch it, but you cannot review it on a platform.
You guys really are putting a lot of stock in how much I like reviewing shows on this podcast.
It's more of a matter of, do you want to do something that you truly love for a living, but you make less money, or do something that makes you a lot more money, but you may not love it?
People can just support this podcast to the degree that we can all do this full time. Like, that's well within everyone's possibility. Like, if everyone just chips in, we could just do this way more often.
And on that note, I want to say that there's several names on Twitch that I've never seen before. And if you're new on Twitch, thank you for watching and tell your friends. And I love you.
And also, we're sorry for starting late. There were technical difficulties earlier.
And also, happy
question.
birthday? Question mark?
Yeah, happy birthday.
Ooh.
Holy moly, it must be my birthday.
I don't think there's enough good anime out there where I could just watch enough of it and be satisfied just doing reviews. Like, I think I'd burn out pretty quickly. Unless it's like, oh, you review one episode a year and everyone loves it and you get 50K and you can just like kick your feet up. I don't know. I like making money, and I really like that people are willing to listen to us talk about this stuff. But money is pretty cool, so I'm going to pick that. But if people want to make this a full-time job, you're more than welcome to. I just don't think I'm that interesting.
Last question from Caroline to Mason.
Well, I personally would watch anime for a living, but make 50K a year because right now that is my salary. So
There you go.
Well,
but for the rest of my life, I don't know. Okay, my last question to you is, your cursor's in the way, Mason. I can't read it. There we go. You have to watch the first episode of every anime ever, or you'll never get to watch a sequel season of anything.
I mean, I would much rather watch the first episode of every anime.
Yeah? Even the bottom of the barrel things that we barely notice that come out because they're that bad in quality?
Yeah, I think I would. So few shows are in need of a sequel, and I think that would give me such a breadth of knowledge and insight to the complete range of quality that exists out there. It's the same reason why everyone gives every score on Malice 7. It's because they don't know how bad is. But when you've submerged yourself in the depths of the innate and just obscenely awful, you get a much better scope of how deep the depths of the human mind can create awful art. And there's value in that. So I will pick watching the first episode of every anime ever.
Wow. And I think you actually did that once in a season, right? Like you watched every first episode of
try to watch season. Almost every show that we don't do for impressions, just so if someone's like, oh, why didn't you guys bring up this show that no one talked about? Like, I can have a sense of like, oh, this actually has promise. And we've done that before with like, if a show is getting hyped. So,
and stuff.
Yeah. And also if I do this, it's much easier to finished anime. I can just be like, I did it all, there's nothing left, and I can move on. But
all right, well, let's head into our questions for everyone and try and make it.
Let's just pick one.
We'll go through these. Let's see.
Really? Just one?
Well, I mean.
Okay, let's just pick.
Do you want to have adequate time for Spy Family?
I feel like we can make these quick from the way that they are looking like.
It's just show versus show, but
yeah.
Just let's start with this one because it's from last week. Would you rather take Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, done by current day JC staff, which is abysmal, or Devil is a Part-Timer Season 2, done by Studio Ghibli?
I'll take Devil's a Part-Timer with Ghibli. That'd be cool.
Ghibli. You would do the Ghibli treatment.
I feel like that would add to the Devil's a Part-Timer.
Well,
it would. But would it save it from the writing and all the flaws?
I think I would like it better. I think I would have liked it better.
I know it would be better. What I'm saying is that good production enough to save the writing and storyboarding and all that kind of stuff.
Do we still think Studio Ghibli is the best studio?
I don't think it's the best
studio
ever, but there's a certain factor to it that just makes you happy.
But like when you take like Mappa, Cloverworks, Wit, whatever the fuck the studio is, the guy that you love, Mason.
Science
Saru, and Heyday Ghibli. Is Ghibli still the best?
I don't know. Heyday Ghibli has something special. It's magical.
All right, we can do one more.
No, we'll do two because one good, one bad.
Okay.
Remain versus Birdie Wing. Who do you take?
Remain.
Birdie Wing.
Oh, get the fuck out.
Birdie Wing has a certain amount of interesting, like, it's just stupidness to it. Remain is just stupid. Okay. Next one.
Horimiya versus My Dress Up Darling.
Horimiya.
Dress Up Darling.
Well, there you go.
All right, let's wrap it up there.
Sounds
All
good.
right, let's get
That was
into
that was a fun game.
Yeah, that was really fun. And I think we could probably get more from listeners and do it again some other time.
Yeah, if you guys submit them, we will add them to the queue.
Yes, that would be great. Okay, so our in-show weekly trivia question is, what is the name of the tennis tournament in Spy X Family? Speaking of Birdie Wing, it was kind of Birdie Wing-esque. So we will give you the answer right after the news break.
Hey, Anime Addicts, Mitsugi is here, and I'm bringing you your anime news break. Starting off with some sequel announcements and some big sequels too. Made in Abyss, the Golden City of the Scorching Sun, is getting a sequel. So this property that adapts Akihito Tsukushi's fantasy manga, which has the same title, is going to be getting a sequel. The first series came out by Kinema Citrus, 13 episodes back in 2017, and we recently had a sequel to the Made in Abyss franchise in anime format, and now there is going to be another season coming out. So for those of you that are huge fans of Made in Abyss, look out. They're going to be heading even deeper into the bottomless pit. Next up, the manga Rokudo no Onatachi, subtitled as Rokudo's Wicked Girls. The manga is getting an anime in the spring of 2023. A lot of people online talking about this, from director Hiroya Saito of Baki from Studio Satellite. So this is a property that it was serialized as a romantic comedy in Shonen Champion. There's like a jillion magazines. From June 2016 to April 2021. The 26th and final volume, she completed the series and shipped in June 2021. So if you're a fan of this Rokudo's Wicked Girls, look out for this romantic comedy manga being adapted into an anime coming up here in the next couple months. Next up, Nier Automata, the anime franchise property that is based after the very acclaimed and popular Nier Automata video game series, is getting delayed because of COVID. Believe it or not. Yep. COVID. The delay is in part due to COVID infections in Japan, which have risen lately, and as a result, I am happy that I canceled my trip to Japan. And as a side note, of course, Nier Automata is delayed. Episode 1 through 3 is going to be re-airing in Japan, after which they may do episode 4 and beyond, but these are officially postponed, so we'll have to see if they ever come out. And there's talk online that the production committees are using COVID as an excuse to cover up for bad production schedules and, production problems of the anime itself. Next up, and lastly in the news, a new original anime coming out called Overtake from Studio Troika in Kadokawa. The director A. Aoki of It Invaded is going to be doing work on this at Studio Troika. The story is about a freelance photographer, Madoka, who is in the middle of a slump due to an undisclosed reason, but finds his heart racing once again as he meets the high school F4 racer Haruka Asahina, who does, I don't even know what F4 is, mini Formula One, it looks like. He decides to support Asahina and help him make his dream come true with the small racing team Komaki Motors. At least it's something different. I hope for not horrific CG, and we'll have to see how this anime is when it comes out later on. This was Mitsugi, and this was your anime news break, and now, as we always do, it's time to get back to the podcast. Every day, Pancake is abused, beaten, and neglected by being forced to go to work.
No, Mitsugi, don't make me go!
She's crying out for help. Her syrup, it's dry.
It's so dry!
Please go to AAApodcast.com/join or Patreon and join the Anime Addicts with a monthly gift. Don't wait. For just 22 cents a day, you could help rescue a pancake from a life of doing things. Act now within the next 30 minutes, and you'll receive a welcome package of hentai episodes, hobby addicts, and after parties during which a pancake may appear. Given a second chance at life, Pancake may even appear on this very podcast thanks to you. So help make Pancake the Anime Addicts Anonymous sugar baby by going to aaapodcast.com/join or Patreon right now.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
There is a pancake who needs you. You can say, I'm here to help. Welcome back to the podcast. When we left you, we had a trivia question. What is the name of the tennis tournament in Spy X Family? Campbellton?
I think it was Campbellton.
Campbellton? I don't fucking know.
I know. I think it's supposed to just be like Wimbledon, but Campbellton.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, well.
I think you're right.
All right, well, we are going to play it as Mitsugi's Mom No now, which is a, recurring segment here on the show. And I have recorded these questions very recently with my mother after she recovered from COVID. And do we have our victim?
We do. They're at the ready.
All right, I'm going to play the intro, and then you bring him in.
Will do.
It's time for Does Mitsugi's Mom Know? The game show that pits Mitsugi's unassuming mother against anime's most basic questions. Now here are your hosts, the Anime Addicts.
Whoa! It's time for Does Mitsugi's Mom Know? Everybody's favorite game show where my mother will try to answer the simplest questions I can think of from anime, and you will have to guess whether or not she knows the answers. Who do we have on the line, and where are you calling from?
Captain Psycho from the Discord, and I'm calling from South Carolina.
Captain Psycho from South Carolina. All right. Well, thanks for being on the show today. It's great to have you, and the children, they love it. Very happy to have you.
I'm super excited.
All right. Are you feeling particularly confident today in your guessing ability?
Usually when I play along at home, I lose, but I'm gonna try to win today.
Well,
Maybe
most
the
people do
pressure will
lose.
be in your favor.
Yeah, Lady Emery did so well, the other time, so I'm trying to hold it down for the ladies.
Yes, our last winner and the last person who played this game. So.
And she and others in the Twitch chat are giving you some love, so.
Yay! Thanks, y'all.
Yeah, maybe Lady Emery broke the curse. So I know you know the rules of the game, but we're going to ask you 5 questions. You have to get 3 of them correct, and if you win, you will be heading down the victory road, just like Lady Emery did, and I will reach out to you to give you a prize afterwards if you are victorious. Now, rather than make you twist in the wind, I'd like to just get started, so are you ready?
I'm ready.
Good luck, lucky player. With me, it's you never know.
Here comes your first question. Which of the following video games is getting an anime adaptation in the most recent anime season? Nier Automata, Street Fighter, or Fatal Fury?
I am gonna say she does not know.
She does not know that
Yeah.
Mitsugi's latest obsession, Nier Automata, does not have an anime coming out right now.
You're making me doubt myself, but I'm gonna say she does not know.
You gotta stick to your guns, you know what I'm saying? All right.
Yeah.
I'm locking you in. Here we go. Which of the following video games is getting an anime adaptation in the most recent anime season? Nier Automata, Street Fighter, or Fatal Fury?
Street Fighter.
No, I'm sorry. It's
Nice.
Nier Automata. I will note that all 3 of these video games now have anime. So, but hey, that's a correct answer.
Well done there.
Yeah, congratulations. Ooh, man. Now your odds dramatically improve when you get the first question right. So, are you ready for question 2?
Ready.
Which of these Pokemon was one of the original 150? Charizard, Cyndaquil, Togepi, or Bidoof?
Okay, I feel like she has to know this one, so I'm going to say she does.
All right, you said she does know. Final answer.
Yes.
Are you sure? Final
You're
answer?
really trying to sweat her out here, aren't you?
It's killing me. But yes, final answer.
I'm just fucking with you. Here we go. Which of these Pokemon was one of the original 150? Charizard, Cyndaquil, Togepi, or Bidoof?
Charizard.
That's right.
I know my Pokemon.
Oh, you seem to.
Or the cards, anyway.
Oh my
Love
God. The children.
Feeling it.
Oh, settle down. Settle down. Good Lord. They love you. They're in your corner. Let's see. Mason's good at math. You need to get 1 out of 3 correct, which I think that makes your odds like 87% right now to win.
Yeah,
I don't know
probably
if this
something
is
around there.
More pressure or less pressure, but I'm going for it.
People have failed in this spot. Are you ready for question 3?
I'm ready.
Send it! Ash from Army of Darkness and Denji from Chainsaw Man have what physical characteristic in common? The answer is they both have chainsaws on their body.
This is the tough one. I'm going to go with my gut. I'm going to say she does not know it.
She does not know it.
Final answer.
Oh. She's so definitive with her answering. I love it. Ash
this was
from
just the
Army of
best.
Darkness and Denji from Chainsaw Man have what physical characteristic in common?
They have gray skin.
No, they have a chainsaw for an arm. She said they have gray skin. Oh my God.
Woo! 2 winners consecutively.
2 sweeps.
I am so hyped. Oh my gosh, this is the best I ever could have imagined.
This is amazing. Well, oh wow, I played it twice for you. Well, now you can be like, hey, Lady Emery, sup?
It's like that,
thought you
that
were hot
gif
shit.
of Arnold Schwarzenegger coming in is like, you son of a bitch. And
You
do
son
the,
of
like,
a
the powerful handshake.
You guys are gonna have to make your own memes now for the Discord. Well, you know what? You were a fantastic contestant. But
The
it's
dynamic
time.
duo has been created.
It's time for you to
Yeah.
go, Captain Psycho.
Thank y'all so much. Love
Thank
the
you.
podcast.
Thank you. I'll be reaching out to you soon.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. All right.
Bye.
We have 2 more questions here. That's amazing. What
Oh
a
my
great
goodness.
contestant.
Hopefully, these 2 winners will inspire people to join the Discord and sign up to do this. All you need to do is message me and say, hey, I want to do it, and then you'll sign up, because we had a little bit of a drought. But, don't be scared, people. You too can be a champion of the people.
Also, it's free to play, and this podcast is sponsored by Tesla, so we're giving away a Tesla Model 3 today. It's going to be fantastic. It has no engine and no wheels, but hey, you know what? Who's complaining? You guys want to do the final?
but
Do you guys want to do the other 2 questions?
Is there any way that we could maybe send the winner like one of our little merch that we have now newly created?
I can give the option, and we'll see what they decide.
Yeah.
Here come. You guys want to do the other 2 questions?
Yes.
In Akira, the main character Kaneda primarily rides what kind of vehicle?
I think she might get this.
I don't think so. I think if I had to guess, I would say yes. But since Caroline took the she knows, I'm going to take the she doesn't know. And I'm going to guess she guesses bicycle.
Bicycle?
I think that's close enough, but it won't actually be accurate. Like motorcycle, which is correct.
The thing is, I played this game once and I failed. So take my answers with a grain of salt.
In Akira, the main character Kaneda primarily rides what kind of vehicle?
It's a motorcycle.
It is a motorcycle.
Yes.
Nice.
She knows some things. I'll tell you what.
She does.
Here comes the second question.
If she knows or doesn't, she is the most confident answerer ever, though.
Yes. I mean, where did she pull gray skin from?
Oh, because she said I didn't include it in the response, but she said because his name was Ash.
Oh.
Anyway, here's the next question. What is the English title of Miyazaki's upcoming film to be released in July?
Ooh,
Even I don't know
think
that.
She gets it.
So
I'm gonna say no.
No.
Well, then
What
I
is
have
the
to go with
English
yes
title
to
of
try to.
Miyazaki's upcoming film to be released in July?
Last springtime.
No, it's called How Do You Live? That was kind of soft, but she said last springtime.
Yeah, she comes up with some very interesting answers sometimes.
All right. Well, that was Does Mitsugi's Mom Know? If you want to play.
We did it. We swept it as well.
Again, join the Discord.
Yeah, I did.
AAAdiscord.com, because Mason's always looking for contestants. So
Yes.
that's all you got to do. You join for free, you play for free, you win prizes, and you get famous, just like Captain Psycho. And now it's time for mailbags.
It's time for an almighty anime mailbag. Anime.
Mailbag.
Sorry, I was busy promoting Captain Psycho's role on the Discord because now that she's a champion, you get special awards for that. If you would like to leave us a question or a comment or whatever, you head on over to AAApodcast.com and click on the mailbag button and leave a mailbag like Sincerely Marshmallow did. And they write, "Hello, AAA crew. With both Trigun Stampede and Rurouni Kenshin set to premiere in 2023, what other notable anime from the past would the host like to see retold with a fresh coat of paint? Also, which anime studio would you choose to add this paint?" Mitsugi.
Side note. Oh, sorry, Mason.
No,
I'm
go.
thinking that this was sent by Marshmallow on our Discord.
Yes.
Name is Marshmallow. I think Sincerely was just meant as the little outro, like from Marshmallow. Sincerely, Marshmallow.
I think so too, but there is a different tab for it, which I find very funny. Or they're just feeling really sincere today, in which case that's okay. Mitz, what retro anime would you like to see revived?
Well, I don't really get... Yeah, does it have to be a retro anime?
Just anime from the past, which is technically any anime ever, but...
Well, I really like the anime Iria, Zyram the animation. I think it's really cool. I've mentioned it before. It's super interesting. So I would say that. It's pretty old at this point. It's probably mid-90s. Otherwise, I'd say Bubblegum Crisis. I love the original Bubblegum Crisis. It's so fucking cool and just awesome. And short, way too short. So that, I'm going to say those two. Those are good enough.
Excellent.
To answer the question, I'm not entirely certain because a lot of the anime that I have watched have been fairly recent and not really needing a fresh coat of paint. But if I had to choose one, I suppose I could go with Kaiba. Like, I wasn't huge on the show by the end of it, but the first part is pretty unique and enjoyable and it was for me personally. And the art style is very interesting. It's like kind of like Astro Boy-esque, and that's pretty cool. But it wasn't really to the cup of tea of a lot of people when we watched it for Anime Club. I think there's more potential in it if they took inspiration from the original design that they had and made it sharper and move really well and just look very... I guess sharp is the best word I can think of for it. I think it could be great. And it sounds silly, but because, since Kaiba was originally directed by Masaki Yuasa, instead of Madhouse, though, I would have Science Saru do it, Masaki Yuasa's studio. That way, it kind of keeps the same feel, but with a very capable team that knows Misaki Yuasa's style and can really do something cool with it, and make it to its highest potential, I guess.
I was cool. It doesn't need a remake, but I see what you're saying.
I don't know. I mean, like, the colors are just kind of strange. It doesn't really move very well. I think it just puts people
It's so
off.
blobby and adorable, though.
There are a lot of
You want
parts in
some
it where it
edges.
should not be adorable. It gets really dark.
It's incredibly dark, which is why the super cartoony bubble visuals like make it so cool. For me, I don't like when good shows get remade. Why bother making it? It's already good. I want to see a crummy show get remade, and I think the show Metal Fighter Miku would be really cool. So Metal Fighter Miku is a really fun concept. It's like idol anime mixed with like girls who fight in professional wrestling, but they wear like these little mech suits, hence the Metal Fighter. And it's pretty cool in concept, and it's also crushingly boring. Like, it could have been so much fun. And I think if they just took out all the junk volume that's there and just did an overhaul with some sick new soundtracks, some cool edge, if they made it fun, if they made it gritty, if they made it dark, like, that would be awesome. So Metal Fighter Miku, and if Studio Trigger did that, I think it'd be a bunch of fun. So that's my pick.
I'm changing my answer.
Yeah.
I want them to redo that second Berserk anime in the exact same in the same grainy looking old style as the original one that came out, because that second thing was a piece of steaming dog shit. And
I disagree. I want them to redo the first part, but in the horrible animation of the second.
At least let's get some consistency, one way or another. That's all we're asking for.
Oh,
your
my
face
God.
was awesome.
Caroline is getting
clank.
Caroline's gearing up for this fucking boxing match we're about to have.
Yeah, this entire episode we've just been contrarians to each other, and it's all been culminating to this moment.
You're going down.
What is this?
Like the either or topic, a lot of our answers were very different.
So,
all right.
I guess we're here. We've arrived.
Let's throw down. Today, we are reviewing the second core of Spy X Family. It came out in the fall of 2022. I did an impression on it back in episode 561, and Mason and I reviewed the first core on episode 634 while Mitsugi was out. Now he's finally gotten to watch it. You can watch it on Crunchyroll and Hulu. And yeah, the synopsis is basically season 2 of, or actually not, the second core of Spy Family. We know it's a core, but it's kind of hard to keep that straight when
second core
it basically
blah, blah, blah.
acts like a season 2. Yeah, I would say, like, I guess the general synopsis would be Lloyd, Yor, and Anya continue to be a family. Yor has moments of feeling inadequate compared to Lloyd's secret partner, who is a spy, so she feels down for a good portion of this. They get a dog, who's also a sidekick. Anya's still dumb, but funny. And Lloyd just continues doing spy shit in the background. And that's basically it. So my expectations going into it, again, more of the same. I really enjoyed the first season, though I did not pass this show for review because we've already reviewed the first core, and it just didn't seem necessary to. But was I extremely upset that it got passed by listener choice? No, not really. I was going to watch it anyway. So, Mason, what were you expecting?
More of the same, just like you. Obviously, we both reviewed it. We both had our thoughts, and it's just would keep on doing its thing, but with a dog this time. So I was excited.
Yes. And Mitsugi, what were you expecting going into it without seeing the first core?
I was expecting a good anime, and boy, was I let down. Just kidding. So I expected, this is what I literally wrote. I wrote spies, action, assassinations, but also cute family shit. That's exactly what I wrote. Yep.
All right. Well,
did you have an earlier comment, Mitz, that you wanted to make?
Well, I wanted to ask if you guys, you're referring to the green highlight on the outline?
Yes.
Well, so since this is like the second core or some shit, even though I clearly consider this to be the second like season or installment, you can call it whatever you want. This is our second review. My question is, is if you would like to refine our reviewing system. Because the question is really, if you've reviewed both of the first cores in the first season, do you guys feel like we need to review season 2, which will ultimately get picked by the listeners for sure, for a third review of the same thing? Or would you rather just make a rule where we not only limit things to season 2, which the point was to only be reviewing things twice, or to limit things also to only like appearing twice on the show? Because otherwise, if they break season 2 into 2 cores, we're gonna end up reviewing this fucking thing 4 times. And I fully expect
have a
that
lot
they'll
of
do that.
things to think about this, Mitz. I think the big thing is no, we're not reviewing Spy Family again. This is the final Spy Family review that people are gonna get.
Because we did it with ReZero, and I thought it was a little redundant then. And it's just something to think about.
Yeah, we would have to really make a hard rule on that, because cores can be consecutive in that we watched Summertime Render. That was 2 cores. But I don't think they'll come out with a season 2. But if they do, then it would still be eligible. But if they had broken up the core, but I mean, like, to have been put out with 1 season in between, then feasibly we could have reviewed it 2 times, and then it would be ineligible. So it's just we need to.
I think 2 reviews is enough for Spy Family. If it does a big tone shift and fundamentally delivers a different show, then we'll think about it. But I think while it will change slightly, it's not enough to earn a third review. I think we only need 2 reviews of this show.
Then we come to the question: should have we waited to review the entirety of this official first season and waited after the second core came out?
Well, that's why cores
because we didn't know.
Yeah, that's why cores are stupid, because they make it feel like it's a season by making a 3-month break in between, and then they go, "Oh, just kidding, season 1's back." Like, okay, well, anyway, whatever. We can take, as they say in boring ass meetings, we can take this offline. All right.
We'll make this an email.
Yeah, I'll put this in email. Caroline, would you like to continue?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were going to go into your spoiler-free recommendation, but I'll go first. Yeah, I think it's probably best that we save that for last. So I would say, yes, I recommend. If you like the first season, it stays very consistent in the comedy, I thought, and the wholesomeness that it had in the first season. I will say, in response to what Mitsugi will inevitably say, it is not the anime of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, as a lot of people, I think, kind of expect when they know nothing else about Spy X Family. It is a family slice of life with spy stuff in the background. Obviously, if you don't like slice of lives, this is not for you. But it is a solid show. It looks good. It sounds good. It's funny. It has some, I feel like people might disagree when I say good characters, but Anya is great, even though I sound like a broken record. And it's just a sweet, fun show that's still like it's kind of a breath of fresh air, even if some people might think it's stale. I personally enjoy it. So that is my recommendation. Mason.
I think whatever you thought about season 1, for the most part, you'll agree with core 2 of it. I mean, I think the visuals are mostly solid. There are sometimes it drops off. Yes, Anya is a barrel of fun. Yes, Bond is a barrel of borfs. And I think it started off strong and ended pretty well. But honestly, core 2 fell into a lot of the same trappings as its first part. A lot of overly manufactured and artificial everything. Some really uninteresting, unfunny, unengaging characters. And just some repetitive comedic punchlines that feel routine after a few episodes, as well as some objective misses that we're going to go into that just baffle the mind. But that said, I think I still do recommend Spy Family as a solid, cute show that watched weekly is a highlight and has some good things to offer despite the things that I find a little trite. So yeah, watch Spy Family. You already know at this point if you like it or not, and I don't need to tell you that it's bad. Mitz will do that.
I'm waiting for Caroline to unleash me.
You may go.
I'm just kidding. All right, look, I wrote a lot of stuff on here, mostly just to keep my thoughts straight. I don't really recommend this anime. I just don't think it aligns at all I am not in alignment with modern anime fans. I think part of it is because I've seen, frankly, a lot more anime than most anime fans. And by that I mean like hundreds and hundreds more anime. But the idea of watching like 5-year-olds do pretty much anything is just, I know this anime is, I'm not the audience for this. Like, this anime is meant for like largely people like around age 10. This is like a show that could easily come on TV at like 3:30 in the afternoon, and like little kids run home from school and watch like Bond the dog run around with Anya and like do absolutely nothing objectionable or violent or R-rated whatsoever, and just like, I made paper airplane mache today at school. Look how my daddy will love it. Like that. I mean, I am just not the audience. Like, and I think that modern anime fans, I'm sorry if this makes you upset, but like, they love like pointless, meandering conversations, school-driven anime, and as long as it looks good, they don't give a fuck what it's about. I'm 100% convinced, because this is how Demon Slayer ends up like the highest grossing film of all time. This is why Bocchi is like a 9.3 on my anime list, even though it feels more like a 7. That's why this anime's got an 8.8, because even though it's derivative of 100 other slice of life shows, it doesn't matter what a show is about. All people give a shit about is if it looks glossy and pretty. That's it. That's all you need. I'm sure there are anime out there that like look incredible and they're otherwise utter dog shit, and they're probably reviewed well. I even think of like...
Sorry, can I jump in for like 1 minute?
I mean, I got a ton more to say, but yeah, go ahead.
No, just about this one point. I think that it's not terrible to enjoy a show just because it looks good. And I think there is more to it here. Like, there is other things you can enjoy, in my opinion. But if you're coming... Like, I feel like there's a good amount of value in having something be produced well. I mean, it's artistically well done. It may not be written well, but there's still things to enjoy to see it. Yeah, I mean,
I would argue that this anime doesn't even look that good. It's a slice of life show. 90% of it is just standing around talking. Like, there's not like blistering, animation sequences or fight scenes or gunfights or car chases. Like, it has nothing. None of that is in here. It's mostly Anya walking around her school and like the dub actress who's probably 30 talking like she's 3, even though Anya's like clearly 5 or 6 and shouldn't be talking like she just learned how to speak like 2 weeks ago. I thought the first 2 episodes of this anime were fucking great. Pancake and I both watched it. We looked at each other and I said, what do you give this anime right now? And she said a 4. And I said, I agree, it's a 4 right now after 2 episodes. And then the entire rest of the season is just the exact opposite of the first 2 episodes. So I can understand how this anime will get passed or picked or whatever, because it seems to have a lot of promise at the start, and the 3rd episode it brings Bond the dog in, and everyone loves dogs. But this is a slice of life series that is going to drag a 6-episode storyline on and on for like 50 episodes, because 90% of the time you're watching Anya do arts and crafts or watching You Are Cook Badly, which is a hideous, just egregious cliche. So I mean, we can get to the characters later, but yeah, this anime is probably recommendable to like anime fans who haven't been around very long, that you know what the sad part is about this is that we talk a lot of shit on isekai shows because they're all the same and they're derivative of each other, and you're like, oh well, this is isekai is a sword, isekai is a hot spring, isekai is a, I don't know, as a fucking little girl even though you were a boy in the other world, isekai is a baby, isekai is this, isekai is that. All these slice of life shows are the same. It's like, this is basically a slice of life show with spies, even though they do nothing spy related for the most part. This is a slice of life show with 2 kids who just pick on each other and like play love games. Slice of life show with a cat girl. Slice of life show where my alien neighbor ends up in my class. Slice of life show where this. They're all the fucking same. This anime is derivative of 100 other slice of life shows. It's the same shit 100 times again, over and over. Anya's a spy, or Anya's a little girl who's the focal point. Yours a spy who does no spy shit at all. Bond the dog is barely in it. I mean, he's in like 1 episode. Yuri wants to fuck his sister, and Lloyd is white toast. So you're left with Anya, And I hope you like listening to like 40-year-old women talk like, babies, because that's what you're going to hear for 13 episodes. That is what Spy Family is. It's just a show with almost no storyline. And Gorbachev will not be tearing down that wall because I am unconvinced in lore in any of this. So there you go. And how in the fuck did Yor become the runner-up of the waifu war?
I think that was.
She's a horrible character.
The recency bias that you mentioned, that was probably the most egregious.
She's horrible.
Version of it. Yeah.
This is what Yor's character is. I can't cook, which I already knew that before I watched the anime, because every anime character that's ever been created in the history of mankind can't cook. So her brother liked scarfing her food and vomiting, and then
that was really dumb. And
well, that's half of Yor. Half of Yor.
I agree. Yor could be so much more interesting. Like, I even made the TikTok about the fact that she is a very pleasant and ditzy woman on the front, and yet she's a bloodthirsty assassin in her free time. We barely see it in the show, but also that makes no sense characteristically. And if anything, it just means that she has a really bad personality disorder or something. She's a psychopath.
Uncover Lewis on the Twitch says, I can't judge anime properly when I'm watching a dub on a second monitor. I watched almost the entirety of this laying in my bed. So we can throw that theory out. But, I'm going to apply a phrase from now on to anime, and then we're going to move to spoilers. Flavor additives. It's basically when you have a general concept, an isekai, a slice of life, this or that, and you just add little things to it to make it like different than the next dish. This anime's flavor additive is spies, a psychic little girl, a dog.
You can say the same thing about sports anime.
Yes, I can, 100%. But most of the sports anime aren't held up like on a pedestal for everyone to like worship and gaze at from below, like this anime is like the god of all. Because
I don't know. I mean, we do it with shonen. People put Haikyuu on a pedestal.
I don't think Haikyuu's that good. I really don't.
Hajime no Ippo on a pedestal.
No one has even watched Hajime no Ippo. It's so old, no one gives a fuck. It's almost impossible to go back and get anybody to watch an anime from 2002. It's like I could like offer BJs to everybody, and they'd be like, BJ, sounds great, but you know what? I ain't going back 20 years and watching Hajime no Ippo because it looks
More
old.
of a Sam's Club man myself, but whatever.
But very good.
I like Costco.
An anime made that has anime cells that exist? Oh, I can't watch that. So I don't know. But this anime was supposed like it wasn't even Spy Kids or like fuck Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Like I would have taken like Impossible Spies or one of those like Spy Kids movies. It didn't even approach that. This anime is just a regular slice of life show with little themes placed here and there. Anya is a psychic that never uses her power. Bond is never in it. Like, we don't have to go through all this again, but it's just like, I don't think this anime is terrible. I just don't understand why everybody worships this anime so hard. I don't understand how it's more than like a 6.5. Because to me, it's just another slice of life show with like little things added to it, like to make it like different than the next show, but it's really just derivative of like 200 things that came before. So there's the rant.
Like some people have slice of life and it's their bread and butter. Bread and butter can be bland, but it is fucking good. And some people eat it every meal of the day. And I think that is just how Spy X Family is. It is a delicious piece of bread with some nice sweet butter, maybe salty if you want that. And does everyone want to have a piece of bread with every single meal? No, because not everyone likes slice of life anime.
These days I have to.
I would eat bread any minute of the day.
Okay. Well, I did.
We talked about this last week. Your bread arc is upon us.
What, really?
Yeah.
What did I say last week?
Oh, I think it was in the Hobby Addicts. We were talking about your bread arc.
Well, look, I did lead off by saying...
I guess that means jelly bean because food reference.
I did. The rules for the jelly bean is like expanding. I did lead off by saying I'm not the audience for this. I still think I'm not, and I don't like slice of life. So, and I expected action spy stuff, and I got none of that. So, So yes, so a big swing and a miss. I am the asshole. Hate me. Throw tomatoes at me. Whatever you want to do. Let's get into spoilers.
Spoilers are coming. Oh my god.
I think we should start off talking about Yor, because we kind of started and then we had to put it to the side. And I think she is
terrible.
Probably the thing that we will agree the most on. Because while I like Yor sometimes, her personality traits are played to death. The fact that she can't cook, the fact that Yuri loves her in a very creepy way, the fact that she has a lot of insecurities, and the fact that we don't see her do anything other than play mom and wife. Because we see Lloyd and his spy stuff pretty, like, way more than we see Yor. Like, Yor will make references to the fact that she's an assassin, but we never really see her do it. Like, living the life that, like, Lloyd does.
I definitely
is spy dad.
I definitely expected Yor to, like, go off and just murk people and then come home for dinner and cook dinner. Like, that's, like, what I thought I was walking into. Like, Yor is going to go out and fuck this person up as part of the mission, cut him up. Because, like, all the images, I've seen a lot of images of Yor with, like, her knives and all this. Yeah. And I'm thinking, oh, she's going to be, like, this badass assassin. And in the beginning of the show, she was out doing stuff. Sort of. I mean, they were, like, a petting zoo or adopting a dog or whatever. But she was still out and about, you know, but it's just shitty when a character really only has a couple of aspects to them and they're all cliches. Like, not being able to cook is a cliche.
Yeah, that was really overdone.
Catastrophizing everything in your head and just misconstruing everything to the extent that no real human could possibly be this stupid. And, like, the things that she thinks and considers are so impossible to be actually happening, such to actually make her look like a character that could only exist in anime, because she doesn't resent. There's no human alive that would think these ridiculous thoughts that she has. That's a cliche. So
I really wanted Yor to have as much capability as Lloyd in this show, because they're kind of shown side by side. This is more Lloyd's show than it is yours. And that's very obvious. And I think that I know that there's some sort of arc featuring her coming. People will talk to me about it, like, oh yeah, she's coming up. It'll be in the next season. And I'll be like, okay, but I feel like even then it's not going to be enough.
But you see what, I feel like Mason hasn't talked at all and I feel bad, but.
Yeah, because he knows, so the two of us are going to cover it all. And
but I need Mitsugi to go back in time like a year when we did our waifu wars. And where I'm just saying, Yor is overrated. 2B is going to be our next waifu in 2023, and he needs to be back and be like, Mason was always speaking the truth. But I do want to give Yor one smidgen. Her best scene was when Anya was assigned to do a report on what her parents do for their job, and she was imagining Anya, like, going around with her on the mission and, like, stabbing the crap out of the guy with, like, the pixelated blood. Yeah, and she's like, no, it's just a tomato festival. Like, that scene was fantastic, and that was the only thing of any value that she contributed to the show for 13 episodes. And you just see how nothing burger of a character she is, and just a wasted potential. They could have done more with her, but they didn't, and it's so sad.
This whole anime is a nothing burger.
Because it's hard to spin her as a very palatable character compared to the rest of them. Because she is a bloodthirsty assassin, and they will only play it up for a joke, but if you actually watch her as a character going around and murking people, it changes the tone of the show. Because Lloyd is doing things that are pretty peaceful, not at all really violent or objectionable. And Anya is just Anya. And here we have Miss Assassin going around and spraying blood like it's her hobby. Apparently. As much as I've heard.
Yor might get an arc sometime in the next 26 episodes, but you really have to ask yourself a question. Why does it take 10 hours of content for Yor to get an arc? And I can answer that question. Because it's a fucking slice of life anime. It should have happened way earlier. It should have happened at the beginning. How are you gonna exist for 10 hours with a character that has no characterization? One of the main characters of your show floated around for 10 hours, and all she is a bad cook and stupid. I mean, I didn't watch season 1, but I'm guessing I missed nothing.
That's basically it. Then.
Don't
She
you
helps
think
a little
doesn't that
bit
seem
with like a
an issue?
volleyball arc, but no, she doesn't do much. Yeah, she just is the wife figure, and that's it.
Now let me ask you another question. Someone on the Discord said, "Oh, Mitz doesn't get it because he didn't watch season 1." To which I would say, I don't think I missed any. I missed almost nothing.
I think I agree with you. You definitely did not miss much.
I think that was. Go ahead.
But they said, "Oh, we follow Anya through the school because something about Anya and Desmond or Damien or whatever. Like she needs to get close to Damien so that the spy mission can continue, or like it's pivotal that she do well in school or something for the mission." And I said, I watched this whole season, and I never once picked up the fact that Anya's existence in the school as like a good student or getting close to Damien was important for jack shit.
They actually do make it abundantly clear. I actually don't know how you missed that. Because
Well,
often she's like, I need to do it for the sake of the mission. I need to befriend him. You might not know exactly why, but I need to get these Stellas so I can go to this fancy party to do, like, maybe some of that there. But she often is like, I need to be friends with him for Dad's sake, for the mission.
I mean, I think I heard her say that many times, but to me, it just seemed so stupid and insignificant that, like, how in the fuck does the peace of East and West Germany come down to a little girl getting a good test score? Like, honestly,
because she's invited to a gathering where her
sneak into the gathering.
There.
You don't need to have her get invited.
All of episode 12 was saying
That's
why he couldn't do that.
The easiest way to get the information they need and to get it consistently is if Anya becomes an Imperial Scholar, either by getting the Stella Awards, which she's having difficulty with because Anya's pretty stupid, or she can befriend Damien, and therefore their dads will get to know each other, which is what Lloyd really wants. All he wants is to know Desmond and to see him on a regular basis, so that he can get notes on what the party's doing.
All right, noted. So I didn't watch season 1, but listen, or Core 1, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But listen, the real answer is that any other spy, Mission Impossible, whatever, they would have just snuck into the party and shot the guy in the fucking head or did whatever they needed to do.
They don't need to kill him. They need
Episode
to get
13 was all about why he couldn't do that, though. I get that, Mitz. I get that. I'm with you.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The real answer is the show's about a little girl, and they have to do anything possible to get you to watch a little girl do jack fucking shit for basically 8 hours, because the show is about a little girl in a school and not about much else. Everything they have to, bend the wires to fit into like the shape of the hole you're trying to fit it in, because they want the show to be about a little girl, because there's 10,000 ways to solve the spy puzzle that doesn't involve a little girl. Because nothing in life involves a little girl ever. Little girls are irrelevant.
The main goal of the show is to entertain you with some slice of life stuff, with a little bit of an end game in the background. It's not an action show.
I understand. I just said that. And when Yor gets her bloodthirsty arc, it won't be anything, because this show is for 10-year-olds. It is. 100%.
We can't pretend. I mean,
it is.
10-year-olds can definitely enjoy it. Yes.
I mean, it just is. Like,
most anime plots bend to fit the narrative. Yeah. I would be hard pressed to argue any of your favorite shows don't. Yes, it might be too far of a stretch and too contrived for you to accept it, and you're just like, well, I'm out because I don't engage with the very fundamental premise of the show. I think most people who like this show can observe that and be like, you know what? That's fine. I want to see Anya do these things because that's what I'm here for. Not if I want to see a spy show, I'll watch a spy show. And this is just the painting, the colors they're using, but it's really about this core other concept. And I get that. It's just a fundamental difference in what you want to see. So that makes complete sense.
I'm going to be quiet here after I say one more thing, but I'm not even sure how to really verbalize it other than to say that anime, some of these anime are just too long. Like they're just dragging things out. I'm sure we're going to come up with a reason why every single episode was just incredibly critical, but, I just don't understand why I had to watch a show about a little girl making, like, animals out of paper. I don't know why we had to go play tennis. I don't know why we had to, I don't even know why Bond the dog is in it. I don't know. All these things, like, they just make the show long and don't seem to contribute anything. And just makes the narrative feel slow and bloated. So, say what you will. I don't like slice of life, and everybody else seems to, except me. But I still just don't understand why this anime is that much better than everything else. I don't get it. And it doesn't suck. It's just mid, honestly.
I never thought I'd hear you say that word.
Yeah, and you're both going to give it a mid score, and I know that's true. So that's the funny thing, because y'all gave it a mid score last time.
I'm not arguing that it's not mid. I completely agree with you.
That's not mid.
I think it's.
I'm going to guess
it's mid for different reasons, though, Mitsugi.
I'm going to guess you're giving this a 3.5 because everybody I've ever talked to says this is not as good as season 1. So
you're not.
And 3.5 is mid. So we're all going to give it a mid score.
I still enjoy it,
but it has a 9 everywhere else because it's pretty.
But yeah. Well, I mean, it's also
exactly
due to the fact that people who didn't like the first core didn't continue with the second core, but we all know that. But there are some other things that
now.
I was not huge on in this season. Like, we can talk about the Birdie Wing tennis double feature.
I thought a lot of the spy-centric episodes were actually pretty strong this season. I thought the tennis arc was not one of them.
It did not need to be 2 episodes.
No.
But I think that was mostly just to introduce Nightfall as a character, even though
she's not great either.
Yeah, she's not that great. I think the only thing that I kind of thought was funny was her absolutely obsessive inner thoughts with the very stone cold face.
The gap moe between her adoration for Lloyd and her utter lack of showing that. Yeah, I get the joke there, but it's also played out every episode the same way. There's a couple anime original parts in here that we didn't get in the first core. I thought all these ended really weak. We have the arc of Yor trying to get the gym clothes to Anya, but the joke is, but it's not gym class today, Mom. Haha.
So we have that coming from a mile away. I'm like, it's not gym day.
Of some random spy trying to sneak into the school, Lloyd trying to sneak into the school, Yor trying to sneak into the school. Like, we get it. That's boring. The other one was the top secret code that Anya watches in Bondman and hands it out to everyone. And she hands it out to all these different people. And the resolution is the Scruffy shows up.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, those were actually really weak. And there's a couple run of show episodes in the middle that were just really not good. But I thought the beginning was mostly good. I thought the final contact that Lloyd had with Donovan was actually really strong. And I was really invested more than I thought I would be. So that was pretty good. The one thing I really want to complain about objectively was episode 1. We have this group of people that all their names begin with the letter K. And they use dogs. And there's 9 members. And K9. Get it? It's the K9 group. And they're using K9s. And the anime screws it up and gives them 10 members. The manga actually has 9.
That was a little bit. I feel like that was a little bit much to kind of figure out.
The manga has 9 people, and the anime just adds another character.
Why would they do that?
I don't know, and it actually kept me up at night because I was like, why did they do it? Does he play a role? Is he a spy that snuck in, and that's why it's messed up? No, they just add another character, and they messed up the whole K9 joke. That was the one joke, and they screwed it up. That said, I did like a lot of the visual comedy. I liked Bond running around in circles in episode 1. But also this show had a lot of like gruesome moments. Like in episode 2 when Handler kicked out the dude's tooth with like the stiletto in her heel. I was like, ooh, I felt that. Like there was moments of the show that were really good looking. The OP and Edie looked pretty good. But there was also a lot of dropped frames. And Desmond did a dance in episode 7 when they were doing the choir song. And it was the stupidest dance I've ever seen. It didn't fit the music at all. It was I had to rewind it and watch it a couple times. It was so bad.
What was the glue? The other that little side?
When George was leaving, the little kid with like the triangle head, and everyone was like singing him away.
Only? Was that
that was original.
Yeah. Or yes.
Or no, sorry, that was from the manga. It was from the manga.
Oh, okay, because that was a little bit of a strange episode. I thought it was pretty funny in parts, and just like being like, "What the fuck is this?"
It was an alright episode. I get it, but his dancing was weird. And then the worst part was, and I don't understand this. If you go back and listen to the end of that episode, George, spoiler, it turns out he's not moving away, and he has to come back to school, and he's all embarrassed. Everyone's like, hey, you have to give that stuff back, and that's fine. But the very last shot of that episode is his face fading into the clouds in embarrassment, and he makes a whining sound for like 6 full seconds, going like, eh. And it is unfathomable. Who thought that was a good idea?
Unfathomable.
I don't know why. Like, I get it. He's embarrassed.
It's a great word.
Kids, but it is so many production choices throughout this show just irked me just a little bit. And I do think it does a lot of what it does well, but it just has some lows that I didn't enjoy. Can we talk about how awesome Anya is still, though?
Yeah, she's great.
I think she's a little bit much when she's the focus. When you get a full Anya episode, I get it. It's a lot of sugar to take in.
The whole fucking season was Anya.
I like her comedy when she's not the focus. For example, that tennis episode. It's all about Lloyd and Nightfall, and it's not great, but they're doing spy stuff. And he comes back and he sees Anya and Yor practicing, and he's like, how's the tennis? And Anya's like, I'm the master of home runs. Boom. That's perfect. That's exactly like the capturing of the kid spirit of just like not playing the game and just smacking it as hard as they can. Everyone's done that. Everyone knows exactly where Anya's coming from, but it's great. Like, those are the little nuggets that I really enjoy about this show. Not the full-blown, I'm going to crawl through the ducks and get stuck and whine and cry. And like, I get that she's a ghost, but she's not, like, that stuff was just, I could have done without it, but I don't know. That was just like a word vomit of thoughts I had about this show.
This anime
Maybe
is...
I would find Anya to be annoying if I had listened to the dub, which
oh,
I can definitely.
My God.
I also do not like hearing English voice actors act like children when they are obviously
fucking cringe
adults.
is what it is.
It's better when I prefer watching subs, as most people know.
Yeah.
And it's better to listen to it when it's in Japanese, because you kind of get distracted by the Japanese-ness of it, that you kind of forget, oh yeah, this is a grown woman. And her voice actress in Japanese is still good. So that being said, I did not get annoyed with their voice as much as you did.
The dub is so bad that there were several times where I couldn't actually understand what Anya was saying because she's so baby-eyed in the English that you can't understand it. That's how bad it is. And
that's fair.
Added more of that
I think if I had watched the dub, I would have fundamentally disliked the show so much more. But I think the sub is solid. I think the sub is fine.
Well, I did watch the last episode subbed because I had no choice.
Like, they babyfied some words in the subs that it kind of took you a second, like, wait a minute, what is she saying? But I suppose it's easier to read than it is to hear.
I just didn't expect the show to be about Anya. Like, the anime is so about Anya that even the music is played like a baby.
That's true.
Nearly every background music song is done with a fucking recorder. Honestly,
that's how you're supposed to know a scene is funny, because the music sounds funny. I agree with you.
Really,
I did not think the show was funny.
I like the music how it is. I think it's kind of cute and kind of plays to Anya's really weird side to her, that it's kind of just off kilter just a little bit and still baby-esque, but that's just my opinion.
Anime has just left me behind. I've decided this. I'm back in like 1997, where anime was like mechas and action and weird sci-fi and just epic fucking sports shows. And now anime is like about soft, gooey shit. It's about like baby, like Anya at school. It's about like the problems of the salarymen in Ryman's Club. It's about the problems of the people in Surune. And people are eating it up. And I think that's great because anime is more popular than ever. And I will give up my enjoyment for anime if the medium proliferates, for sure, because I love anime. But this anime is made for a modern anime viewer, and it's not made for me. It just isn't. And I'm too old. I'm actually a lot older than both of you, especially Caroline. We're borderline not even in the same generation. And
No, we are not, because I'm still trying to figure out if I am a young millennial or an old Gen Z. I really don't know.
I mean, I just don't think... I'm going to be 40 before you know it, and I just don't think that watching like 5-year-old girls make arts and crafts is ever going to be funny again. And the show is...
We agree that the ED is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
The ED was pretty nice.
The ED was really good. The opening was good.
Opening felt a little too wish fulfillment-y with your like longingly and lovingly looking into the camera. Like it was trying to place you in Lloyd's shoes, and it felt a little too voyeuristic. The ED was pretty good. I wish they like just like we talked about last week of shows that can do something a little extra to give bonus points. I wish Bond wasn't in the ED until he was part of the family. Like
because we know from last week you like your little ED.
Exactly. If he just wasn't there. And they pan over and there's nothing, and then it jumps to Yor and her brother, and then he joins the family, and then boom, he's there. Anya's giving him pets. That's exactly what I'm looking for. That's how you do it. It doesn't add any more work. It's easy to do, but it's a nice touch, and that would have put the ED at its peak for me. The ED was good though, regardless.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah, nice saturation, bright colors. I love colors. Give me that.
Colors are great.
Yeah.
I wanted more Bond, honestly. I don't think he's in the show very much.
I think he needs to be in there a little bit more.
And I wanted more Yor, frankly. I don't find her to be an attractive anime character, so I don't know. Like, again, I don't know how she overcame so many other waifus in the waifu war, but it freaks me out. Her smile and her chin have the exact same shape. Just like, and her brother's the same. God, what is wrong with her brother?
There's so much wrong with Yuri.
It's...
Luckily, there was less of him this season.
Yeah.
He's an awful character. I mean, his whole character is I want to fuck my sister.
You should have seen his introduction.
God,
that was that was my least favorite episode of the first 4.
And the other spy is terrible too, but I don't even remember what her name is.
Nightfall. Yeah, we already
her.
mentioned that she wasn't really great.
The minute she's in love with Lloyd or whatever his real name is, Twilight, she is no longer a spy. She's completely compromised as an agent. All they would have to do would be to like kidnap Twilight or something, and she would just give up everything. That would be the end. So she's just a borderline horrible spy. She had to turn herself in and just like resign. I mean, it's true. Like James Bond, do you think he's gonna like give up the mission because he falls in love with like one of the Bond girls? Like that never happens. Because the minute that happens, you're done.
I guess the lack of spy never really bugged me about this show. That wasn't really.
I expected it to be about spies, and it wasn't. And that's the problem. That's one of the problems. If I expected it to be a slice of life show, I just would have buckled down for, not a whole lot happening. But I expected Yor to be like disemboweling people and
yeah, and that's just a misattribution of your expectations.
I did like Damien a lot.
Yeah, Damien's funny because like he's such a little asshole, but he's also a really like realistic little asshole.
He's just like cute because he's overly serious.
And then he has the moments of like subtly liking Anya, but he's so in denial.
Yeah, but like
he doesn't know that he's that character archetype yet.
I'm so unforgiving. I'm just like this hard, like I'm very difficult to deal with because check it out. 5-year-olds don't have romantic emotions about anybody. So he would never blush because he wants Anya to be his friend. He's 5. He's 5. They don't get embarrassed about romance until they're like 10. So it's just kind of weird.
Yeah.
Why would I want my 5-year-old characters to be having romantic feelings ever? That is very, very strange.
I don't think anybody really wants them to seriously. I hope they get together. It's more of like, that's like a cute kid thing.
Yeah, well.
But
anyway.
I'm glad that they gave Becky a little backstory in that one episode because I had a secret suspicion that she did not like Anya and that she was just pretending. Also weird that Becky has such an infatuation with Lloyd. Like, I can take Damien and Anya being like a little, like, might have little crushes towards each other, but her being so in love with Lloyd to the fact that she sees Yor as competition is a little strange.
It wouldn't be the first character to see Yor as competition needlessly.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Just wait until Becky and Nightfall meet. Ho, ho, ho.
She's going to assassinate somebody.
Sinister.
Her own fucking family. How can you be that bad at cooking? Get a recipe and just follow it. It is the dumbest human alive can follow a recipe out of a fucking book. Just 2 cups of milk.
Training for years.
2 cups of milk. 2 cups of pasta sauce. 1 teaspoon of salt. some garlic, stir it up. Like, motherfucker, how do you fuck this up so bad?
Yeah, I don't know how you can
unbelievable.
consistently make barf-worthy and comatose state-worthy food, except if it's just a really annoying trope in an
It is an
anime.
annoying trope. Anime has been trying to make this funny for 25 years. This is pretty much every character that's female, particularly that has to cook, cannot do it. It's almost a miracle when they can do it.
I was just I'll tell you what, I did finish season 2 of the quintessential quintuplets after some urging from people on our Discord. So I have seen season 2. I still have not seen the movie yet. And that is basically Miku's character. Like, she's super nice.
Can't cook?
She cannot cook for shit.
Yeah.
For shit.
Now,
and yet she applies to be a baker at a bakery. And she can't bake for shit either.
I will say, I really liked the first 3 or 4 episodes of this anime. I thought that when Yor goes to take cooking classes, it really made me... At that point, I was like, I get it. I get why she wasn't the waifu war so much, because she's actually trying to be a wife. And that's a good thing. Like, you want to be a good partner, right? Or whatever. And Lloyd should do the same thing. So I appreciated that about Yor. That was, to me, her best moment, even though she couldn't, in the end, manage to cook. She at least tried. And I was like, well, she's literally a wife in this. She's trying her best. God bless her. So maybe that's why she got really far in the waifu war. So yeah, I did think
I think it's also due to people's imaginations, because they think like, oh, she has this really sexy, hot other side where she dresses in black and uses knives and she could stomp me into the ground, but she's so nice and so unassuming. And she doesn't really have that big boobs. I don't
No,
really
it's
know
because
about
she
that.
wears a sweater where you can see her lower back, and people like that. Okay, that's what it
They
is.
like the suggestion, even if their imaginations are far more powerful than the anime itself.
Yeah, when Mitch was like, "Yeah, I've seen some images, some photos of Yor," I'm like, "I bet you have, my friend." But we don't need to go there. I think we were ready to score it. Do you want me to go first, or Caroline,
Sure.
or Mitz?
Mason, you should go first.
Overall, this show had some higher peaks in season 1, some lower lows. It was overall consistent. I gave season 1 a 3 out of 5 because it had no dogs. So the season 2 now has a dog, but I felt like enough of the show stagnated that it evens out. I'm going to give it 3 dogs out of 5.
I suppose I'll go next. So basically, I still like the show. The production values are still great, even if some people do not really put as much value into that. And it's just a feel-good show. I know it's not meant for everyone, and I know it's not really as good as the first Cour, but I will still watch a second season, and I will still enjoy it. And with that, I will give this show 3.5 Yuri's barfing and eating Yor's cooking at the same time. It was really gross. I did not like that joke one bit, unfortunately. And they still kept on with it.
How is it acceptable for him to just vomit all over their room, all over their house?
Yeah, the projectile vomiting is not a funny gimmick to me.
Well, and you know the
I'm
anime
just gonna
is...
go out on a limb and say that.
You know it's not a very serious anime when they dive into like Looney Tunes level stuff. Like, I'm gonna blow up this whole building because the Roadrunner's in it, and then no one cares. Like, he's just gonna like just spin art vomit through their whole living room, and then no one cares, and it just doesn't show up anywhere. It's just because it's Looney Tunes nonsense.
It's always been a little cartoony. Like when Yor kicks that kid in episode 1 and he like ricochet ping pongs around the alleyway. Like, that was good visual comedy, but obviously it was absurd and unrealistic. So I think the show picked its tone and stuck with it, and I'm okay
not
with
faulting
that.
it for that. So my score is that, I am unapologetically honest, both here and everywhere else in my life. I speak my mind, and I don't apologize for that. You'll get exactly what I think, and I won't filter it. I don't think this anime was for me. I don't think Slice of Life is for me. I've got about an hour and a half of free time a night, and when the anime does nothing for an hour and a half, it just burns me up. It's just I need things to move quicker. I would give up I would give up the color of the anime. I'd watch it in black and white if it had a story like Monster does, or really a lot of other anime that have good stories. Like, I'll take a story over anything. And I understand that Spy Family probably has a fine story, but I don't want to wait 60 episodes to see it. Because I'm not going to stick around that long. And I won't watch season 2. And I'm not saying this anime is bad. I hope that people don't listen to my review of it and dislike me or have their thoughts on their show modified. I think that if you like it, you like it. And honestly, what I say doesn't fucking matter. Like, I don't even think my own opinion matters. Like, it doesn't. Like, who cares? I'm just a bald man sitting in a chair that no one should care about. That's just old. I'm just old. So I'd like my anime to be a little more on the serious and realistic side. I would rather watch Lily Cat, which is like a trash sci-fi anime from like 1987, than watch this anime again. But it is mid, in my opinion. So I'm going to give it a mid score.
I cannot get over you saying mid.
I've been saying mid all week. Even hey,
going out. I've been trying it out, using it outside, and know what? I kind of like it.
Listen, old dogs can learn new tricks sometimes. It just takes a really long time. And by the time I learn a new trick, it's irrelevant. So, like, Mitts, no one uses mid anymore. They're using, I don't know.
Cap.
So, I'm going to give this anime, I don't even know what to give it. 2.5 episodes that Bond was in out of 5.
Borf.
I was going to give this episode, give it 3 borfs out of 5, but I figured Caroline was going to use borfs as her metric.
I was just reminded about the projectile vomiting, and I wanted to comment on that before we ended.
So, yeah, I mean, people ought to know by now that I talk a lot of shit. Slice of life is not for me, and it apparently doesn't matter how good of a slice of life it is. It will not matter, because an anime where people just talk the entire duration of it is just not for me. So, and that's what slice of life is, generally. But not a terrible show, just not for me.
Well, that was episode 661 of the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast. Hopefully you liked it. I know I sure did, and that's really what matters.
They don't like me anymore, but
you
they like it.
Your popcorn and watch me and Mitsugi duke it out.
Yeah, if you would like to give us submissions so we can do this or that game again, do it on TikTok or go to our website at AAA Podcast, where you can do everything, including finding links to our Twitter, our Facebook, our TikTok, our Discord. And if you want to make us $50,000 a year so we can do this more often, feel free to buy our merch, support us with bonus content. We have hentai, we have hobby addicts, and we have all sorts of after parties. We also got merch and Amazon affiliates links and more merch. Check out the merch, maybe. Maybe not.
Are we shilling too much?
Yeah,
are people going to say we're selling out?
No, it's the children that are wrong. But thank you for listening, though. That's really the most important thing. Tell a friend. And next week, we are beginning Winter 2023 impressions. So,
boy!
Yeah, I'm bussin'.
It's tons of fun. And we'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.
I ate 20 jelly beans today. Bye.
Is that all? I have failed.
That's all.